Hi, it's Krisha here, mind unfucker and love and sexuality embodiment coach. Yeah, I need my own theme song. I want to get real here with you for a minute. There is no doubt right now that our planet is hurting in many ways, right? And right now I am on a personal mission to become as aligned in my heart as I absolutely possibly can, because I know the difference between when I'm living in doubt, unworthiness, fear, scarcity, lack, all of those emotions, versus when I feel really aligned, when I feel like I'm in my heart's highest vibration, when I feel connected to myself and to the universe and to other humans. And these used to be just strange words to me. It was just like, what? Heart-centered, heart-connected, like, what? I didn't get any of it because I was so deeply programmed, like all of us, in the world of scarcity, in the world of lack, in the world of I can't have, in the world of I'm not good enough, in the world of it's good for everybody else, but it's not for me, in the world of I'm not deserving, in the world of I'm not lovable. I lived my entire life in the world of I'm not lovable. I don't deserve these things. Who am I to want this? This is for everybody else, but not for me. I feel selfish for even wanting it. I feel greedy for wanting it. And when I did step out enough of my comfort zone to like open my heart a little bit, or like open myself up to love or friendship or whatever it was, or receiving things, my belief systems about not being worthy of it were so strong that I would get things and then they would bounce out again or whatever. The belief system that I believed would like get activated almost immediately. And then I'd be sitting there going, well, why? Why did that happen? And when I started to understand that these subconscious belief systems were really, really, really honestly the only thing between me and happiness, I really started to get to work. I really started to get to work on myself. I worked on my shadow, okay? I worked on all of those hidden belief systems, hidden behaviors that I knew I was doing, but they weren't really in my consciousness, or my ego and that part of me was making excuses for, or were in denial that I actually even behaved that way. When I started to have those pieces of myself brought to the surface, which is basically the truth of how I was showing up, I was like, oh, yeah, no, that's not cool for me. And so I started to really go deep and work on myself. I asked, who do I want to be? How do I want to show up? And then I went, wait a minute, what is my soul telling me? What does my soul want? What am I here for? And I started to ask that question. And it was in the tools and the practices that I do on a daily basis. Every single day I do this work without fail, because I know the difference between doing it and not doing it, and how out of control my thinking gets, how I start to get depressed and anxious and just feel like shit if I don't do this work, these practices, if I don't intentionally set myself up for success every single day, to clear the cobwebs, to open up channels into my brain so that I have more capacity for knowledge and wisdom, to open my heart no matter what is going on, so that I don't keep closing it and I keep attracting more and more and more love into my life. Doesn't mean I don't have problems. It doesn't mean things don't go wrong. It doesn't mean that hell doesn't all break loose all around me. It just means that I don't get sucked into that and flail around with it as much or at all anymore. Or if I do get sucked into it a little bit, I'm very still anchored and very aware that I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm in a pattern. Wow, this is fun. How long do I really want to stay here? I don't want to stay here very long, because I know that when I'm in that space, when I'm in this space of doubting myself, when I'm in this space of feeling that fear and convincing myself that I'm not lovable, that I'm not worthy, that I'm not enough, when I convince myself of those things that I can't have, it just pulls me down into such a deep depression, so much anxiety. And I know what that feels like, and I don't want to feel like that anymore. So I am disciplined now. I'm devoted to these practices in order so that I can feel really good about myself. And the reason why I hold on to that isn't for selfish reasons, although, yeah, I suppose there is a selfish reason in here. It is because what I have witnessed, especially over this last amazing year we've had in 2020, is that when I go out and I'm feeling that vibration genuinely at that deep soul space of I love, and I'm open to receive love, what happens is the universe reflects that back to me, okay? And I'm then also giving the energetic gift of that to people who may not be where I am because of whatever's going on in their life. And what happens is when I give a smile, when I give that loving energy, all I hear back 24/7 is, holy cow, Krisha, like I feel so good being around you. Thank you. Thank you for what you said to me. Thank you for that energy. You have amazing energy. And what happens is they get a piece of that and it gets imprinted on them. I want to spread and spew love because I know the difference between the feeling of love and the feeling of hating on yourself, the feeling of fear, the feeling of not being worthy enough. Because that stuff is toxic and it spews out in all sorts of ways, right? It spews out in anger, it spews out in victim, it spews out in resentment, it spews out in entitlement, it spews out in expectations, it spews out in so many ways. And what that does is just create more of that energy in our lives. And that's honestly not what we need right now. And I know that you feel the same. I know you feel the same. You want to see more love on this planet. You want to feel worthy. You want to feel a sense of connection and belonging. This separation and division and everything is not for you. You want to feel connected to other humans. And you want to know that whatever you're saying, whatever you're doing, however you're being, is having a positive impact on people around the world. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. It already is. You already are all of this. You truly, truly are. I already was all of this. I just felt really ashamed for it. I felt ashamed that I had so much joy in me. I felt ashamed that my light, it was so bright. And so I would damp it down and dim it and hide and, oh, you know, who do I think I am? And when I let go of that and allowed my light to shine more and more and more, all I found, well, I found people who didn't like it, of course, because it's reflecting the light that they have turned off in them. Not everybody's going to like this, as you probably have already experienced. But what actually also happened is that so many people were like, yeah, I like that. I want that too. And it gave them permission to open that up for themselves. So it doesn't matter what you do, where you are, if you're a coach, if you're, a stay-at-home dad or a stay-at-home mom, or, if you work in the grocery store, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you have any kind of interaction or connection with humans whatsoever, your vibration is what speaks first. Your energy is what speaks first. And people pick up on that, right? And so I know you want to feel more worthy. I know you really, really, really are so tired of pushing all of this stuff away. And I know that you're so done with not feeling lovable and of treating yourself in a negative way and talking to yourself in a negative way. I know you're done. You're sick of it. It's over, right? But maybe you're stuck in this like kind of almost like a purgatory state where you're like, I don't want this anymore, but I'm not entirely sure how to grasp this new version of myself, right? This soul version of yourself. Maybe you don't have language for it. Maybe it's super foggy and unclear and you're just like, wait, but I don't know what that is. And so you find yourself defaulting back to your old self, the old patterns, the old way of thinking, right? The old emotions, maybe the old habits, and maybe some of those habits are really destructive. Maybe there's addictions in there or whatever, right? It's all our journey, and we're all here on different journeys. But if you have that yearning inside of you to really step into this more heartful place, this more loving place where you're loving yourself more than you're hating yourself, right? And you create space in your mind to be able to focus and think and you know, create and do what it is that you love in life and get ideas and inspiration rather than just the freaking dialogue of how awful you are all the time, the beating yourself up, the punishment, the self-flagellation, right? If you are at that point right now where you're like feeling that untetheredness, you're awakening, you're like, yeah, I don't need that anymore. I want that, but I'm not sure what that is, or you are sure what that is, and you're like, but I don't know how to get it. I know I want that, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what steps to take. I don't know. And I know I'm blocking myself. Then I invite you to connect with me. This is what I do to help people. I unblock you from all of this. I teach you how to listen to your intuition and trust it. I teach you how to shed these old belief systems that you don't need anymore. Chances are you've been doing personal development work for a while, right? And you know a lot. There's no doubt. You know a lot, right? But you still have some pieces that you're just like, why am I still blocked? Why am I still not going for it? Why am I still, doing these particular habits? And it's because your capacity to receive isn't open up enough. Your worthiness, your self-worth hasn't fully blossomed yet, right? There's embodiment pieces, meaning we need to take all of this information, all this beautiful data that we have up here, that you have up here, and bring it down here into your body. Because we have a subconscious loop that goes from our body to our brain. And if we're not also working on body work along with whatever is going on in our mind, then we're just going to continuously be playing this loop over and over and over again, right? So I combine modalities from both mindset, thinking, strategy, right, pieces with very deep embodiment, body work pieces. We balance out the masculine and the feminine within you so that you're operating in balance. Like I said, we balance it out. So you're operating now more in balance with yourself, right? You're not fighting with yourself anymore in order to be able to have the life that you really want to have. Or it's not even that. It's being who you know you were put on this earth to be. And then from that comes the doing what you're meant to do, right? From that comes receiving what you're meant to receive. So I invite you to schedule a discovery call with me. We'll have a conversation. We'll see if this is the right fit. It might not be. I am not the coach for everybody. but I know that a lot of people need this. And if you resonate with me, you resonate with this message, and you feel you're ready to go deep within yourself, and you're able to do so, then I encourage you to schedule an awakening call with me. We can have a conversation, see if it's the right fit. If it's not, cool, no problemo. There's no pressure. There's no high pressure sales tactics in my calls. You will 100% walk away with clarity, insight, a breakthrough or 10, and a clear direction on where to go next, even if it isn't working together. So this is my gift. This is my purpose, and I'm overflowing with this because I have opened up my ability to be able to receive. I've opened up my ability to be able to feel love. I've opened up my ability to be able to create so much space in my mind. I don't even remember the last time I beat myself up, like for real. I have doubt, and I can still get spun out by those doubtful thoughts. I'm not perfect, I'm not a robot, I'm still on an evolutionary journey. But I am so much more present, aware, conscious, observing, and have been able to master my own emotions and how I respond to my own inner world, and thus how I respond to the external world. There's a lot going on right now, as we know, and we need now more than ever to find that calm within, to find that inner peace, to find that joy and that happiness, to connect to our heart, to connect to our soul. Because when you are in your soul's purpose, you become unstoppable. You become a shining light for others, and life becomes so much easier. You let go of all of the struggle because you've learned how to surrender, you've learned how to trust, you've learned how to love. That's my message here for you today. I love you, and please reach out if this feels like it would be the right fit for you. Bye for now.